Hi everyone, it's Gary here with your Blue Nose Bulletin for Tuesday, the 10th of September 2024. A very warm welcome here to the Fourth Officials YouTube channel, and we've got loads to talk to you about today, and a lot of them is news that is coming out of Turkey. Now, long-term viewers to the Fourth Officials YouTube channel will know that we've been speaking pretty much since last season ended about interest in James Tavernier from multiple places, and we thought with the end of the transfer window that may well have been it with regards to interest in the Rangers captain. But over the course of the last few days, and I think after the fallout from the last Old Firm game, there is renewed hope, I think, from a couple of clubs over in Turkey that there may well still be a deal to be done, and reports coming out over the course of the last 24 hours or so suggesting that a former Rangers manager is very keen to link up with the Rangers captain. That was, of course, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, who is manager down in Besiktas. And it's believed that Van Bronckhorst is pushing for his side to make a late move for the Rangers captain. Turkish newspaper Kutçay Express has stated that Besiktas have stepped in and looking to try and make a move for James Tavernier. And they're not alone in terms of interest. Now, not only Besiktas, but also Istanbul, Başakşehir, and Fenerbahce and Galatasaray have also been credited with an interest in the Rangers captain, with the Turkish window still being open. It doesn't close until the end of this week, the 13th. So maybe there'll still be something to happen there. A couple of Qatari clubs as well, Al Arabi and Al Gharafa, also apparently interested in James Tavernier. And I think it's fair to say that Tavernier, I think, will long be seen as a little bit of a scapegoat in terms of the Rangers support, and off the back of the last Old Firm game, where things didn't go well for him and the team, and the scenes that we saw at Ibrox, I think, at the end of that match, very much showing that there may well be life beyond Rangers for James Tavernier, and whether or not he wants to see out his deal and get the testimonial, which I think was a big thing for him, and part of the reason I think why nothing happened over the summer. But things perhaps have moved on. Rangers have obviously brought in another player that can play right back in Narasho Kajanviro. Obviously got Dujon Sterling also there as well. And reports coming out of England over the course of the last 24 hours stating that Rangers have accredited an interest in Cyrus Christie, the former Hull City defender. And reports from local media down in the kind of Hull area stating that they're very much interested in Cyrus Christie, 31-year-old, of course, and someone who's got a lot of experience at championship level, and whether or not that's seen as a potential replacement for James Tavernier, whilst obviously Casanviro and Dujon Sterling obviously there as well, who are maybe seen as players that can play in different positions rather than a right-back option. But I don't see Rangers letting James Tavernier leave without potentially bringing in some form of replacement. So whether the Christie deal is one to get done, there are other clubs in the Championship that are circling around him as well. One free agent that's definitely not going to be coming to the Rangers is Stephen Alzate, the former Brighton midfielder, and he has completed a deal with Hull City, and he will be off the table. Someone who certainly Rangers were in contact with over the course of the summer, but a deal couldn't be done, and he is now a Hull City player. Another ex-Rangers player who may well be on the move to Turkey is Ryan Jack. Now, Ryan Jack, who was freed at the end of last season, and Turkish second division club Erokspor are looking at Ryan Jack, and the Turkish reporter Ertan Suzgun, who has been quoted as on the social media platform X, has stated that they are looking to do a deal, and there appears to be quite a lot in that, because Ryan Jack on his Instagram story on Sunday evening, very much kind of quoting a Turkish flag and a nice image of him, what appears to be in Turkey, undergoing some talks with that club. Obviously, Ryan Jack hasn't yet sealed a deal with anyone, and appears may well be a move to Turkey is in the offing for him. So we wish him well on that one if that does happen. But another ex-Rangers player who things haven't gone well for over in Turkey is Ryan Kent. And you may well have seen stories regarding Ryan Kent over the last few weeks. Had been offered to many teams, I think, over the summer. I think Fenerbahce very much looking to try and let him go. He's only made 19 appearances for them since joining last year, and didn't leave during the kind of summer window. And Jose Mourinho, the current Fenerbahce manager, has basically stated that he does not have a future with the club, and that Yeni Safak, another Turkish journalist, has stated that there was talks between Jose Mourinho and Ryan Kent, and Mourinho had stated that his preference would be that he will look to kind of move on, and his representatives are trying to terminate his contract at Fenerbahce at the moment, and we'll watch with interest as to whether or not he then becomes more appealing on the free agent market. But yeah, it looks as if it's all gone sour for Ryan Kent over in Turkey, and it does perhaps serve as a little bit of a warning for players looking to go out there. It certainly doesn't go well for everyone, but we'll see if Ryan Jack becomes the latest kind of Rangers player to head over to Turkey, obviously joining John Lundstrom and Borna Barisic, who went out there in the summer to Trabzonspor. Away from some transfer news, news coming out of St Johnstone today is that they have cut their away allocations for both Rangers and Celtic going forward. Previously, Rangers would get around 4,500 tickets for games at McDiarmid Park, but for the trip to McDiarmid Park in December, Rangers will only get an allocation in the Ormond stand and the North stand, and that will be the same for Celtic's visit to Perth on the 28th of September as well. So slightly surprising, but Adam Webb, who is the new American owner of St Johnstone, put out this statement on social media's St Johnstone's social media channel earlier. I wanted to take this opportunity to communicate directly with you about the important matters of matchday attendance and our plans moving forward for matches against Celtic and Rangers. Your unwavering support as part of our loyal fan base is the cornerstone of our success. And with that in mind, I want to emphasise our commitment to making McDiarmid Park a true fortress for our team, particularly when hosting Celtic or Rangers. Historically, we have sometimes allocated the East Stand to visiting supporters and moved supporters into the Jeff Brown stand. We have also allocated more seats than necessary in the Jeff Brown stand to opposing fans. Under our new policies, to be announced later this week, opposing fans will be limited to the Ormond and North stands only, and one section of the Jeff Brown stand, which is legally required to accommodate disabled seating. For this initiative to be successful, we need you, our dedicated fans, to turn out in force. We understand this requires a collective effort, and we are committed to making this as convenient as possible for you to attend. So very similar to the likes of Kilmarnock and Hearts and Hibs of late that have cut their away supports. Very interesting, I think, for St Johnstone, who aren't a side that have got the greatest in terms of home support numbers. So certainly they were relying on Old Firm visiting fans to bump up their takings on a season basis. So be interesting to see how that goes in those coming games. I think they obviously get the benefit of Sky TV money, because generally matches at home against Rangers and Celtic tend to be on that platform, if not on Sky. Certainly the new deal with Premier Sports would suggest that those games are potentially likely to be on the TV. But yeah, less Rangers fans will be attending St Johnstone going forward. That will pretty much do us for this Blue Nose Bulletin. A very big thank you for you all for watching. Last night on our Patreon site, a new show went out looking back on this weekend's Nations League games. So I urge you to go and check that out if you're a subscriber to our Patreon site. I'll speak to you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.